a clergy, or you bring a mentor, and the parent, you try to get a hold of someone, and you put them in a room, and maybe someone from education, and say, listen, this is the problem. Here's our game plan. Are you with it or not? So we're not trying to be punitive. We're trying to really be preventative and try to intervene in that person's life, one kid at a time. So if it works, if we get one kid, that one kid could do a lot of damage, and hopefully we save someone's life or their own.
Well, it is a most difficult problem. It is, really is, and it is out of hand. We know it's out of hand, and I hope you'll be able to get a handle on it. Which moves me to, is the homeless situation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What are we? I was going to have you back on about that. What do you feel we can do about that here?
I think it's really simple. I think we're making it more difficult. If you're from New London, if you have a supportive family, or uncle, or cousin, or relative, a mentor, you're from New London, then you can stay. If you're not from here, New London is overburdened right now. We've got people from Georgia, Mississippi, Bridgeport, New Haven, Norwich, all over the country coming to New London. We can't handle it. We don't. You said it.
We've talked
Social
about
services.
that before.
I don't know how. We have 4 shelters. We have the women's, we have the homeless hospitality, we have the Covenant Shelter, and we have St. James. What city around us is helping? We have 4 shelters in New London. So, not against homelessness. I know it happens. Not against people, vets, or mental illness. Not against any of that. But if you're from New London, or you have an opportunity or a chance, because many times they say, if there's no family or no connection, it's going to be near impossible to get into supportive housing and into a job. If you just come up from Georgia and you don't know anybody, as soon as you get out of the shelter, you could have been kicked out of Georgia's shelter, or Hartford, or New Haven shelter, and then you end up in New London. So, in my opinion, the real simple thing is just like what Norwich does. If you're from Norwich, we take you. If not, you have to go back to where you came from.
That's going to be interesting. I want to grab this because we're starting to light up.
Okay.
Good evening. You're on Street Talk with Father Russ, Bonnie, and Michael. Hello?
Hello.
Yeah?
I have a comment regarding the kids in the area. I think when you've tried and exhausted that, the meeting place and bringing them into the Blue Room, we have the prisons in Marville. Why don't we have a pretty strict Scared Straight program where you put them in an area for a week or so, and you do counseling with the kids, with the parents, advise them that if they don't get decent grades, that it could be a strike against them. Florida, they don't allow children that drop out of school to get a driver's license till they're 21. Just a few more rules and regulations to try to get them to better their lives.
I agree, and that's why I mentioned earlier. I said the Scared Straight program is one of the programs that I truthfully believe will work, because a lot of these kids, young men, young women, they're not scared. That's the problem. They're not scared of not only the education, they're not scared of police officers.
So some people know that, believe it or not, in the early 60s, actually, in the late 60s and 70s, Father was one of the ones that developed Scared Straight at the Norfolk prison in Massachusetts. They were the first in the country to do that. It was an extremely successful program. And then New Jersey got it, and Pennsylvania. And
it's proven that it works.
And it's proven that it really works. It's if it's done right, it's a remarkable program. And you got to get the kids before they get into the felony bag. That's the thing.
Well, I think that's the issue, too, because I would say no parent, of course, wants their 14, 15, 16-year-old.
Oh. Do I still have you on the line, ma'am?
No.
No?
Yes, but is the Scared Straight program just a one-day program?
Oh, no, not necessarily. No, there's usually a lead up to Scared Straight. Depends on how it's run. So before they get into the prison situation, or it doesn't even have to be necessarily you need to go to a prison, but as long as you're talking to offenders, in a jail, you can use a jail situation, and you've got good offenders that can really tell these kids what it's like to be there. You can do real well. We could actually use the jail as a shock lockup. We've done that
I
too.
think the key is that there have to go back to having some consequences and
I'm just
accountability and
thinking that,
Go ahead,
Go ahead.
and keep on the line, folks. Yes, go ahead.
there's a delay here for some reason on the phone, but I'm thinking if you lock them up for like a week,
Right.
Oh, you mean actually lock them up?
lock them up in a facility for a week so they know what it's like to lose their freedom, to see what it truly would be, and do a lot of counseling involving the parents.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the problem is you'd have some civil liberties groups.
There is some difficulty with that. That type of program was tried in Massachusetts, and that's exactly what happened. There's civil liberties things that are involved there. It almost has to be on a volunteer type of thing, so it kind of loses its effectiveness. You got to hook up with the court system.
Right.
Even with the Scared Straight, you need to. It needs to be hooked up with the court system.
There's still ways to make it work where you are holding the young offender accountable and responsible so that they have an idea of what their reality of their future may be.
Right.
Absolutely.
Without just continuing to let people off so they think
You need to
that they have
forgive
that-
me, ma'am, I got
Yeah.
other people on the line, it's okay? Hello? I lost her.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, you're on Street Talk with Father Russ and Bonnie and Michael. Hello?
Hello.
Hey,
Hello.
hello?
Yes.
Yes, you're on.
Okay. Hello, Mike. Nice to see you on Street Talk.
Thank you.
I have a question for you about immigration. Okay, what's your position on that issue? Because many people have been here for 10 or 15 years, came in legally, and after that their status failed for some reason. And what you gonna do with our city? Our city will be a sanctuary city, or are you going to be like Rhode Island?
I don't rule on immigration, so that would not be a city issue.
Well, I think he's talking about like what Rhode Island mayor is doing, is finding people that are illegal. He's trying to get the
The governor,
no, the mayor of Providence is, what is it, the department, the immigration, enforce immigration and get illegals out of the city and send them back. And he's got an enforcement schedule there. And other places are doing the same thing, and I think he was asking you about sanctuary. Like there's certain cities that just don't do anything about it. They leave it alone because I believe it's a misdemeanor. I'm not really.
I don't do what?
yeah.
Huh? Yeah,
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
yeah, I believe it's a misdemeanor.
Yeah,
I don't know.
New London's got bigger issues, like,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah,
Yeah.
far bigger issues,
Yeah.
good. Good evening, you're on Street Talk with Father and his guests. Huh? Huh? This button don't, go, good evening. You're on- Hello, you're on Street Talk with Father, Michael and Bonnie. Hello? Hello?
Oh, I just wanted to, hello?
Yeah, hello, you're on.
So I just wanted to say that I think Michael Buscetto is the only politician that pays attention to what people have to ask him.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I appreciate that.
Boy,
You're welcome.
whoop,
I did say thank you. There was a delay.